in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss, there wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Mavia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Mavia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Mavia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Mavia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Mavia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Mavia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Mavia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Mavia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Mavia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever, and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Mavia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Mavia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Mavia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, Mavia!
Steel had better keep an eye on Mavia because Mavia is a true brawler. Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Mavia carrying. High Chief Peter Mavia taking on George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Mavia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in count. Or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain that. Peter Mavia very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows? Maybe we'll see the Mavia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime. Well, before any of that happens, the High Chief needs to survive this war against the animal. That brings a rush of blood to the head.
Momentum is all with Mavia now.
Yeah, and Mavia has really figured the animal out here. Measured up nicely. Fist drop!
When a man like Peter Mavia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Mavia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steel often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature. But when it comes... No, nothing fancy here. Tasting victory!
Backed up! Shoulders up! Flips the leverage. He calls off the pin attempt, maybe wanting to try something else. Blow after blow, he's looking rocked.
And you can see Steel is struggling to weather the storm with the High Chief. Look at Mavia going to work on the animal. The High Chief has all the answers right now.
What an interception!
Spectacular counter into a dragon screw.
The High Chief Peter Mavia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles. Oh yeah, Mavia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui.
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Mavia is a much more... What are they going to do up there? Headbutt!
And Steel isn't looking helpless anymore. This could be a good chance for Steel to get some distance and rethink things.
Mavia overwhelming his opponent here.
Can Steel recover from this adversity?
Placing him in the corner.
Peerless position for him to be in here.
He's got him in trouble up on the top rope. Avalanche arm drag.
Believe me when I say you cannot overstate the amount of pain that causes someone. Oh, God. Mavia just dominated the animal with that one.
Not sure if he should waste all his time hot-dogging around.
Uh-oh, look at this, launched into the cage. Gosh.
George the Animal Steel is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal. But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief Peter Mavia. When you consider that Mavia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation. Peter Mavia sensed that was coming. Oh, what a headbutt.
Great wherewithal there. Mistake made by Steele. Some folks call Peter Mavia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Mavia is very close to the Anawai family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan. When you add on the fact that Mavia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body. Headbutt! Another big move! There's the backbreaker. And George is laid out. Headbutt! Golly!
Peter Mavia now with the upper hand.
Mavia just smothering his opponent with offense. Headlock cinched in and just tossed their opponent. The animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the animal brandish a weapon against Peter Mavia before, and it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steele to get even crazier.
Oh, Mavia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon. Ripping and tearing at the face. Oh!
They are feeding off the WWE fans, now pinning the arm down and
a series of vicious stomps. Well, the unorthodox style of George Steele is certainly working well at this juncture.
let's see if Mavia has an answer for the animal. What a counter by Peter Mavia. George Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost the match by countout to the High Chief. Oh, no, he can be caught here. Bad spot for him.
The stump puller. Got this one locked in extra tight. This might be it. We're either going to hear a tap or a snap. Tapping out.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Mavia!
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Mavia. George Steele is one tough animal, but the way Mavia faced him in the cage tonight just reinforced what everyone already knew, that the High Chief is one tough Samoan.